Hello, rockers, and welcome to week 7. So we are now kind of on the wake of the Beatles and the British invasion, and this is kind of a weird time in the chorus because in week 5 we looked at Soul, which looked at basically the 60s as an entire decade, and then we reset and went back to 1962 and looked at the Beatles and the British invasion through half the decade anyway, and now we're kind of doing the same thing again. We're resetting and we're going back to the early 60s, and we're looking at surf rock, folk music, and folk rock. So 3 genres this week, thinking ahead to your project that you're going to have to do. And those genres are here on the introduction page. So one thing to keep in mind, even though we're teaching this course kind of sequentially in some ways, it's not really sequential. All the stuff's happening at the same time. So you've got girl groups, you've got Beatles, you've got teen idols, you've got Otis Redding, you've got Motown, you've got all this stuff is all happening all at the same time, even though we're looking at it sequentially. So it's not history sequentially. So something to keep in mind is all this stuff's happening on top of one another. And we're talking about genres. This week we have a PowerPoint lecture on surf rock and folk rock, a discussion, quiz, and then the big Bob Dylan plugging in, the big folk rock thing, which is a really cool thing for popular music. You'll see more of that. And if you already know the story, then you know the story. But so that's this week. It's the same as usual. Lecture quiz, video quiz, discussion. The first genre we talk about is surf rock, which is like the Beach Boys and Dick Dale and Dwayne Eddy, and there were some more. So we've got kind of surf rock in the YouTube playlist at the front, and then we've got folk and folk rock, a lot of folk rock. So kind of very contrasting different styles. Surf rock and folk are not really connected. We just happen to be talking about them in the same week. And then there's some more stuff for some deeper dive stuff. Great documentaries on this subject too, by the way. And then the rest of this module is all the same stuff. For this week's discussion, though, I'm going to have you guys look at some lyrics and comparing and contrasting the Beatles. I want to hold your hand to Bob Dylan's lyrics and looking at some of Bob Dylan's what he was doing with lyric writing. So that's the focus of the discussion. So it's going to require a little bit extra kind of side work this week of just kind of reading through some lyrics and making your post based on having read those lyrics. So that's a little bit different, I guess, in the discussion this week. Video quiz, lecture quiz, and that's it. So I hope you enjoy this unit on surf rock, folk rock, and folk music. Peace.